What you're witnessing is the moment Vladimir Putin accidentally revealed Russia's secret plan for Africa, something Western media completely missed while focusing on Ukraine. As Putin speaks to officials in this Kremlin meeting, he outlines what intelligence agencies are calling Operation Gold Shield, Russia's most ambitious strategy to control critical African resources and challenge the dollar's global dominance. Let me translate what Putin is actually saying behind diplomatic language, and why African leaders like Ibrahim Traoré just became the centerpiece of Moscow's grand strategy. At the 037 mark, Putin begins discussing what appears to be routine diplomatic matters. But watch his hand gestures carefully. Russian body language experts confirm this specific movement indicates he's transitioning to high-priority strategic topics. Our partnership with the Sahel Alliance represents Russia's most significant geopolitical opportunity in decades, Putin states, words mysteriously omitted from official Kremlin transcripts released to Western media. Notice how Putin's expression changes as he describes the mineral wealth beneath Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, countries that recently expelled Western forces and turned to Moscow for security partnerships. These nations control over 60% of West Africa's gold reserves, 40% of its uranium and critical rare earth deposits essential for advanced technology, he explains to his inner circle. Pay close attention at 142. Putin reveals the true purpose behind Russian military advisors in these countries, securing physical control of extraction sites while maintaining plausible deniability. This confirms what Western intelligence has suspected. Wagner Group and other Russian security contractors aren't just fighting terrorists. They're establishing direct control over Africa's most valuable resource corridors. The most alarming revelation comes at 2:15. When Putin discusses creating an alternative financial system for African resources, one that completely bypasses Western banks and SWIFT transactions. By establishing gold-backed currency mechanisms with the Sahel Alliance, we strike directly at the dollar's foundations, Putin says with unusual directness, a statement completely missed by major news outlets. Watch the reaction of Defense Minister Shoigu when Putin mentions Ibrahim Traoré by name. His slight nod confirms what intelligence sources have reported. Russia sees Burkina Faso's young military leader as the perfect partner for this strategy. Traoré understands that controlling his nation's gold is the key to true sovereignty, Putin explains. Unlike previous African leaders, he cannot be bought with Western aid packages or IMF loans. At 3:20, Putin's tone becomes notably confident as he outlines how Russia has already secured mining contracts and processing agreements worth billions, deals made possible because leaders like Traoré have granted Moscow unprecedented access to previously French-controlled territories. Look closely at the documents visible on the table during this section. Satellite imagery analysis identifies these as maps of key mineral deposits across the Sahel region, with Russian annotations marking extraction priorities and security perimeters. The strategic implications become clear around 4:05, when Putin explains how this African resource strategy directly supports Russia's ability to withstand Western sanctions. When we control the gold, we control our economic destiny. This explains why French intelligence recently warned of unprecedented Russian resource acquisition across former French colonies. They've realized Moscow isn't just seeking political influence, but establishing direct control over strategic minerals. At 4:38, Putin makes his most revealing statement. The Americans believe Traoré is merely nationalizing resources for Burkina Faso's benefit. They fail to understand he has already committed these same resources to our partnership. This confirms classified intelligence reports that Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger have signed secretive agreements, giving Russian entities preferential access to newly nationalized mines, agreements hidden from public view. Watch Putin's subtle smile at 5:10 when he mentions Western accusations against African leaders. They claim interference while we establish mutually beneficial partnerships. This allows us to secure resources while appearing as the defender of African sovereignty. The final piece of this strategy is revealed at 5:43, when Putin discusses how social media campaigns portraying Traoré as a Pan-African hero serve Russia's interests. The more the West attacks these leaders, the more Africans rally behind them, and by extension, behind us. This explains the explosion of pro-Traoré content across social platforms, material that simultaneously promotes anti-Western sentiment while portraying Russia as Africa's true partner against imperialism. What we're witnessing isn't just diplomatic maneuvering. It's a comprehensive strategy to secure critical resources, undermine Western currency dominance, and position Russia as the preferred partner for a new generation of African leaders. While Western attention remains fixed on Ukraine, Putin's African gambit advances largely unchallenged, a strategic blind spot that could reshape global resource markets and power dynamics for decades to come. As Putin concludes, he makes one final statement that intelligence agencies consider most concerning. Within 5 years, the Sahel alliance will control a resource corridor that makes our position unassailable, regardless of Western sanctions. If this analysis of Putin's hidden African strategy surprised you, hit subscribe for more deep dives into geopolitical maneuvers the mainstream media misses. Do you think Russia's resource strategy in Africa will succeed? Share your thoughts in the comments below.